at 6. Eagle Eye TV has done a great job.
Welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
We are just having a great time here in Auburn, Alabama. The party is not over yet.
Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening, and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Jillian Byers.
And I'm Lucas Hazelrig. Thank you for joining us. Auburn students hunkered down last Thursday night with expectations of heavy rainfall and strong wind. Hurricane Helene was initially expected to pass through Auburn before its trajectory changed course.
Thankfully, the storm ended up largely missing Auburn, leaving our campus with no damage and allowing for classes to continue as normal. Earlier this year, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey signed off on the SB 129 bill, the details of which prohibits public entities from, quote, promoting, endorsing, or requiring affirmation of or certain divisive concepts relating to race, sex, or religion, end quote.
There are other important stipulations involved, but the most visible change to Auburn University is the dissolving of the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. The bill officially goes into effect this Tuesday, October 1st. Auburn University Student Government Association held a campus roundtable discussion today as an opportunity for students to further inclusion efforts and understanding around campus. More from Eagle Eye later on the story.
Not only does Auburn University have the happiest students in the nation, but data from the recent census reveals that the university marked a historic year with record-breaking graduation rates and first-year student retention. Auburn's record-high first-year student retention rate increased from 93% to 95% in fall of 2023, and the institution's graduation rate increased from 80% to 82%, exceeding the national average.
This achievement allows Auburn to maintain its reputation as the #1 university in the state and one of the best in the nation. The university's strategic plan aims to create an exceptional student experience by providing leadership opportunities, expanding career-focused programming, and optimizing academic opportunities for high school students coming into Auburn. Auburn just got a brand new addition to its dining services.
Taking the place of SaladWorks here in the Melton Student Center, Ink Tacos opened just last Thursday, much earlier than its projected opening date. I was lucky enough to give it a try. Let's take a look.
Since the beginning of the school year, Auburn University students has been wondering what construction's been going on at SaladWorks and what restaurant could possibly be taking its place. Well, Auburn Dining Services just unveiled Ink Tacos, a Mexican-inspired restaurant. Dining Services decided to switch out SaladWorks with Ink Tacos after looking at transactions and realizing students weren't enjoying the salad shop in comparison to other dining options on campus.
We've heard lots of feedback from students that, hey, we would love to have a taco spot, and so this kind of was a match made in heaven.
Planning began over the summer, but making the switch from SaladWorks to Ink Tacos was quick. It just took changing out equipment and adding in new decorations.
We have a new grill in here that is actually a ventless grill that helped us so we can cook the chicken and ground beef here at the station.
The taco shop has a variety of options on their menu, including quesadillas, burritos, tacos, rice bowls, and nachos. They even offer some specialty items like beef birria and candied jalapenos.
The burrito tacos are outstanding, so please come in and try them. The nachos, I mean, everything is, we've really enjoyed the food, so I would definitely highly recommend it.
Ink Tacos officially opened Thursday, September 26th, and will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Jillian Byers, Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Those look pretty good. Thanks, Jill.
When it comes to putting on fun social events, Auburn's University Program Council always brings their A game. Last Friday night, UPC hosted a Mario Kart tournament in the Melton Student Center game room. Beginning at 6 p.m., attendees were treated to pizza and the chance to beat out other students and become Auburn's Mario Kart champion. We spoke with Brooke Lenninger to learn why this event is important.
We're trying to appeal to a different sort of crowd than we normally get at UPC events. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring together students who love to play video games and kind of try to help bring them together over that. And we chose to do Mario Kart as our first one because that's a very popular event. So we're hoping that this just kind of brings students together over a shared interest.
When we come back, you'll get a look at the weather forecast this week with Kensley Davis. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Kensley Davis here with your weather update for this week on the Plains. The Tigers fell short to the Oklahoma Sooners this past Saturday, but the game day weather did not disappoint. Despite only being 2 days after the hurricane, it was a sunny and breezy day in Jordan here. We saw some showers on Sunday, but today's beautiful glimpse at fall weather made up for it. Moving into the weekend, the Auburn Tigers will take on the Georgia Bulldogs, and we'll see sunny days as we make our way to the fall as it gets cooler. The Tigers will hit the road to the weekend to Athens, Georgia to take on the Georgia Bulldogs, but I've got you covered. The weather is going to be looking in the mid-80s at the 2:30 kickoff. Make sure you dress accordingly, pack your umbrella, and stay hydrated this on the way to class. When we return, you'll get a national news update with Jillian and Luke. I'm Kinsley Davis, watching Eagle Eye News at
Rescue efforts are underway as communities across several states are dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. In North Carolina, emergency responders rescued more than 200 people from floodwaters, where more than 60 people in Buncombe County are still unaccounted for.
About 2.5 million people are still without power across 5 states, while downed trees and landslides and communication issues persist. Yvonne Rodriguez is in Keaton Beach, where Florida and much of the town was leveled.
Communities in the southeast are grappling with widespread devastation after Helene made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane on Thursday. Asheville, North Carolina is experiencing the worst of it as entire communities have been trapped by floodwaters.
We've lost communications capabilities. It's very difficult for us to move around the community. Many of the roads are closed. Trees are down. We're clearing those as quick as we can. And a lot of the critical infrastructure that we become used to every day in normal times is now gone, and we have to work around it.
Hundreds of roads remain closed in western North Carolina Sunday. Crews are working to reach people who are trapped with limited supplies.
Our biggest need right now is to take care of the people that live in this community. We need water desperately. We have yet to receive any water.
Millions of people remain without power across several states, including Tennessee, where dozens had to be rescued from floodwaters on a rooftop of a hospital.
I've never seen a hurricane disaster in Tennessee that has looked like this, not in the years that I've been here.
In Florida, where Helene made landfall, communities were wiped out from storm surge and strong winds. Countless residents are displaced. Boil water notices are in place in multiple counties.
We've got a couple things to remedy, but then it's mostly going to be the homes and the businesses and fixing that.
In Keaton Beach, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Election tampering has been a point of contention since the 2016 presidential election.
While many have differing opinions on what qualifies as tampering, the Department of Justice believes that the state of Alabama crossed the line. The U.S. Justice Department is suing Alabama after the state removed more than 3,000 names from the eligible list of voters for the upcoming federal election. The voter purge violates a 90-day period before an election during which officials can't systematically remove people from the list of voters.
Alabama's GOP Secretary of State says he removed the names because they were allegedly non-citizens. He acknowledged that some may have been naturalized citizens and may be eligible to vote. More than 700 people removed from the list since re-registered successfully. The Justice Department says without issue on election day.
John Diddy Combs is facing yet another lawsuit. In a civil lawsuit filed in New York and obtained Friday by CNN, a woman alleged that she was unwillingly drugged with alcohol and unknown substances. She was sexually assaulted by Combs on more than one occasion in 2022. The complaint is the latest allegation of sexual violence against the rapper.
It comes a little more than a week after he was charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The 54-year-old Combs has pleaded not guilty to the charges. He was denied bail and will remain in federal detention as he awaits trial. While he faces at least 11 civil lawsuits now, Combs has denied the allegations in multiple complaints.
That's all we have for national news tonight. When we return, you'll get an Auburn sports update with Mackenzie Deutschmann. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Mackenzie Deutschmann, here to bring you a recap on all of the big stories that occurred in Auburn sports last week, right here on the Plain. Let's get right into it. Kicking it off with football, Auburn faced off against the Oklahoma Sooners for their first matchup since Oklahoma was added to the SEC. Auburn's defense put up a strong front for the majority of the first half, containing Oklahoma's high-powered offense. However, Oklahoma's quarterback found his rhythm in the second half. And with only 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Sooners came back and won the game 27-21. The Tigers will move on to play the Georgia Bulldogs this Saturday, October 5th at 2:30 p.m. Moving forward, Auburn soccer is still on a roll after defeating Ole Miss last Sunday with a score of 3-0. Goals were scored by Anna Haddock, Olivia Woodson, and Becky Contreras, with Maddie Prohaska beating the Auburn shutout record at 34 career shutouts. The Tigers will hit the road to face Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge. The game will be streamed live on the SEC Network at 7 p.m. Central Time. In addition, Auburn volleyball had a successful weekend of SEC play, starting off with a reverse sweep against the Kentucky Wildcats last Friday. After Kentucky won the first 2 sets, Auburn fought back to grab the upset win over the number 12 Wildcats. The Tigers continued their winning streak after defeating Alabama in a rival game this past Sunday. Not only did Auburn win 3-1, but the game also accounted for their highest attendance record in program history. Auburn will continue SEC play as they take on Georgia next Friday, October 4th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. The game will be streamed live on ESPN. And that is all I have for you tonight. When we come back, you'll get an update on a possible strike in the near future, as well as an update on an ongoing legal battle involving your favorite artist. I'm Mackenzie Deutschmann for Eagle Eye Sports, and you are watching Eagle Eye News at 6. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. The International Longshoremen's Association, a union representing port workers along the East Coast, are preparing to go on strike this Tuesday.
The union has been in talks with the U.S. Maritime Alliance for months, with negotiations revolving around the automation and the security of jobs for port workers across the nation. If the parties don't reach an agreement by October 1st, the union promises a strike. Businesses have been watching the strike deadline, and many are doing what they can to prepare for a shutdown.
It could lead to shortages of chocolate, alcohol, and popular fruits, including bananas and cherries. An extended strike could also lead to shortages of certain cars. On top of that, it can mean higher prices for the goods that are already available. Thankfully, one sector that might not be impacted as much as holiday shopping. That's because this time of year, retailers have already stocked about 70% of their anticipated holiday.
In other news, this week, a legal dispute may be stopping you from listening to your favorite song. Apps like Spotify and YouTube are often taken for granted when it comes to providing access to music. Songs by Adele, Bob Dylan, Green Day, and many more are blocked by YouTube in a legal dispute with the performing rights organization staff. Attempts to play many songs by those artists on Saturday were met with this message, quote, "This video contains content from CSAC. It is not available in your country," end quote.
Similar dispute between Universal Music Group and TikTok earlier this year raged on for several months before it was resolved. In a statement, Variety, a YouTube rep, said they were not able to reach an agreement with TikTok before the current agreement expired, despite their best efforts. Reps for CSAC did not immediately respond to requests for comment.
It may almost be October, but triple-digit temperatures continue to persevere in parts of Arizona. The extreme heat isn't just impacting people, it's also having impact on crops.
Renee Romo reports how one pumpkin patch owner has been fighting for this battle for over a decade.
John Post, owner of the Marana Pumpkin Patch, has been doing this for the past 14 years. He told me that while pumpkins don't love the heat, they can withstand it. However, the real difficulty comes when you first plant the pumpkins, as extreme heat can immediately kill them.
And so that plant will just sit there growing. It grows, but it doesn't produce pumpkins until it's 100 or less. And so generally that's about September 1st.
Dr. Jesse Woodson, an associate professor with the U of A School of Plant Sciences, explained that most plants are good at tolerating the heat. Definitely better than people, but only up to a certain point.
Every plant still has its limit, and Arizona is incredibly hot, and we're having a very hot month, and that is very harmful to plants and their cells.
Despite losing a few of their plants to the heat during the summer, Post is confident what they have now will last through their fall festivities, thanks to an underground drip system that keeps the pumpkins cool on the really hot days. Combined with the abundance of shade provided by the bushy plants and leaving the pumpkins on their vines for as long as possible, it should allow the pumpkins to grow to their usual size.
There are a lot of times where we'll cut pumpkins and leave them in the field for our customers, but this year we'll probably wait to make sure the weather is suitable for that.
Dr. Woodson added that the impact of extreme heat on the crops is something that Arizona will have to get used to, especially with the shrinking water supply.
We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Jillian Byers.
And I'm Lucas Hazelrig. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.